All right. Um, so this is actually my fourth attempt. I'm having issues with my microphone. But when as they try to, to frustrate me, when you're looking for, when you are in some kind of anxiety, you have some kind, they try to use that to frustrate you even more and try to make you accept this thing. When I hear these people, tell me, and I believe in well, when it comes to tortures, I was like, yeah, I believe that you will do it because these people are trying to get you to accept this manipulation as if it's you. I hear this person talk about, blow torch or whatever. I'm like, listen, I don't want that, but one thing is for sure is I will never let them live their fantasy. They think that the torture is gonna make me forget that they do these pedophilia things. Like they think that, they think that this is somehow torture is gonna erase the systematic manipulation they've been doing to people, the systematic tormenting they've been doing to people, and they're trying to act it off like, oh my gosh. So in this video, I'm gonna just walk through the different manipulations in regard to pedophilia things. It's obvious they do this, right? These people are gonna try to sell this BS and somehow pretend that these people are not manipulating you. They keep telling and try to tell themselves we are at war. They're not at war. Everybody knows these manipulations are used to manipulate people into breaking them down. With me, unfortunately, they I think figured quickly that I'm not gonna be the person to be like, oh yeah, this is me. No, I will never feel guilty for the things I'm forced to experience, and this is what they want me to they want me to experience these things, which is this is why they manipulate me this way, and they want me to be like, oh, it's me. I would see this kid this way. I would perceive this kid in this way. I would think this way naturally. I would think about this kid in this sexual way this way, of course. I would think of it, and they try to manipulate. I would think of this kid in this sexual way. You see how they try to kind of manipulate my what I'm saying. They truly want you to accept this, and really a lot of it is how can you perceive a child like a woman? Because and try to find something that is womanly like, and try to build off that. You know, the last videos was like this kid, and I'm thankful that she's very like kid like that. Even what they're trying is just like I could look at her and like, this is so manipulated to the nth degree. And on top of that, if that and that's why I take pictures because when you see what they're trying to manipulate and how they try to manipulate, it's disgusting. Some of them is just like it's just ridiculous. And for example, I had like this video about this squirrel, this basically this little kid. I mean, like little as in like 15-year-old max, 14, 15, and they were making me think of her in a sexual way to the point that they started making me think of a porn star. To try to create thoughts of sexual nature or sexual fashions toward this kid. As I'm saying that, you hear the people in the hallways try to block it out. Oh, he'll hurt you. Yes, you'll hurt me and you'll make me look at kids in a sexual way. That's you. That's what you do. Whatever's gonna happen to me is not going to change the fact that you guys do this. That's your job. Some of them are like up. It's almost 4 in the morning. That's their job. That's their life right now. And they'll be dying doing these things. They've with me. I don't even like they use. It's almost comical. It's such a gimmick when they use the different voices. It'll hurt you. Yes, I believe that I'm being hurt. But I believe that you think because you sound this way, I'm going to subscribe to this manipulation. And I know that actually. So regardless of who's going to hurt me, how I'm going to get hurt, one thing is for sure. I will never subscribe to these things. However you make me think, whatever thoughts you captured when I will always know that you capture your own thoughts that you implant in my head and then try to make me subscribe to it. And the way they sound, it sounds like a child trying to sound hypnotic. Got it. It's just ridiculous. So, target individual, I'm making these videos to walk through what I've been going through. I've been bombarding YouTube with a bunch of videos, and I think the reason why I'm doing this is because I understand that there'll be a day I won't be able to do it. So I'm gonna walk through it. But before that, I'm just gonna show that the things they do to me are not unique to me. I mean, I know myself, but it's nothing better to even be validated by others, showing that these things that they're experiencing is not just happening to them, but to me. It's happening to me too. It's validating to know that I'm not the only one going through these things the same way, and I have nothing to do with these other people. So how like why is it so? Why do we all have these like patterns of the same manipulations? It's because what they do is systematically done. They call that being at war. They claim in their the way they do their things, right? Doing and being involved in this, they try to tell themselves they are at war. This is not war. Just because you're up at 3, 4 in the morning, 24/7, doing these nasty things to people is not war. You are in a human experimentation, and you are a perp in this. And as a perp, your job is to constantly brainwash this person into accepting these manipulations till he breaks down or she breaks down. That's your job. You're not at war in the sense that your life is not in danger and you will never be in danger in this situation. Matter of fact, you are the biggest coward on earth. Matter of fact, you could not survive anything war related. And they like to tell you kill yourself. These are people who have no. They will kill themselves in a heartbeat if they were pushed into any circumstances that similar to what we go through. True weakness. The only thing strong is the way they try to sound, and it's still like sound pathetic. It's like a kid or somebody who's just trying to sound. I want to sound menacing. How should I train my voice to sound this way? If I wasn't being tormented to this level and I heard them, I would laugh. I would laugh. Like it would be, but it's just the disturbingness I have. What I have to deal with is it's just ridiculous, and so I have to deal with this disturbingness the way I can, and making videos helps. So target individual, I'm just want to walk through in the last maybe 2 3 hours what disturbingness I experienced. So first of all, like I said, you've heard those testimonies of how they manipulate your sexual libido. Obviously your sexual arousal, your libido. But here, let me bring that back again. In my there is video. I brought a bunch of videos of what they are do, what they do, what they're doing to target individual and the manipulation. So I'm gonna bring one of them up, and it's specific to the sexual arousal and how they manipulate those. Okay.
Manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal, or it can sort of turn off the target's sexuality altogether. It can also be.
It can turn on sexual arousal and make the target individual feel sexual arousal. With me, they do this. Matter of fact, before, like when I was trying to make my initial videos, the sexual arousal that they just forced me to have was so intense that even while I was making the video, I could feel it, and that was because they were aiming it towards children, and they would just crank it up, crank it up, crank it, up, and then train the brain to look at this kid in a sexual way and then block it in. It's just disturbing. I don't know how. It's just the deviousness of this disturbing things they do to people is just unbelievable. It just shows how pedophilia minded these people are, right? How disturbing they are, and obviously there's a difference between the architectures of this program and the people deploying this. You hear them like because when you hear these people, technology is sophisticated to the nth degree. Them trying to make you accept to this is like, oh my gosh, it's just so pathetic. It's so pathetic, and they try to compensate it with the technology. Because me speaking like that makes it worse for me because they're gonna do things to me because I'm like, you guys are just losers. Oh, you were losers, fine, do this more. So, um, I'm going to continue to put things in perspective. I'm not going to let them live their fantasy. So, sexual arousal. They force you to have sexual arousals toward children. This is what they do, and then they try to make you accept it to this. Oh, now you pay. Now you try to find ways to make you subscribe to it, and then they talk about the torture. Oh, you're gonna get knocked out because that is validation. It shows that we don't do the pedophilia type of torture, and we're not sexually arousing you toward children. Knocked out. Okay. Then we go into the perception manipulation.
I really mean extreme. I experienced an entire night with forced spontaneous orgasms repeatedly all through the night, one right after another, with maybe around 1 hour of sleep or so, as I lay immobilized in my bed in complete fear. This experience, along with the brain being microwaved and along with some internet research, is what made me put the puzzle pieces together to realize that I was experiencing remote external manipulation via electronic weapons, because these symptoms of sexual assault were not physiologically normal or possible without external manipulation. It is not physiologically normal to just have repeated spontaneous orgasms all through the night like that, literally one right after another. And then it all made sense when I learned about microwave weapons. In 2015, I began to experience what some call V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time, and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as destructive and violent. Recently, they even started adding
So, perceptions manipulated into this perverted way. Now, when she means perverted, I don't think she just means the regular, like, no, for example, I am not a saint. I'm a man who do think about sex, who do think about women, sometimes in a sexual way. It's actually, sometime in my life, even more. But the level of perversion they're talking about is pedophilia centric. They do, this is not perversion as in normally you think about a woman. No, they try to make you think of children in a sexual way. Sorry, they make you, and it's disgusting. That's what they do, and then try to make you accept these things as if it's you. Right now, they're doing all kind of things to make me accept these things, but it doesn't end there. Obviously, others have specifically said that and talked about how they force you to have these pedophilia thoughts. My point is, I'm trying to bring up the fact that these things they're doing to me is obviously a thing they've done systematically. So, let me show you.
So much. I think it's so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. Like this disgusting, disgusting, disgusting thing. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through weapons. I don't know. I don't care.
So, this this layers of of systematic things they do to me. Here, he talks about the pedophilia thoughts that is forced into him or to her, sorry, and the fact that there's people around that do things to this person. Just like me, I can hear them doing the noise campaign and talking and try to make it. It's so systematic. But somehow they want me to think that because I'm gonna get knocked out, because I'm gonna get raped, as they say, because they're gonna frame me. They don't do that. They're different. They're just analyzing those thoughts. It's disgusting. So now going to what I exactly experienced and what I'm trying to walk through today, throughout the few hours. First, starting off, and hopefully you heard the news campaign. They were trying to make me like agitated. I go onto like some Instagram storyline, and this comes up accidentally. And you see, this is a black little girl, and of course they usually do the worst, right? They try to say that that's you when you were a kid and whatever. But thankfully, at that moment, they did not crank up the stimulation, and I know it's because they chose not to. But they try to start creating some dialogues and some thoughts in my head, so deep in your thoughts, almost feels like it's me. But they have this ability to really turn off and make it feel like those thoughts are coming from you somewhere. Like, but if it wasn't for the content of the thoughts, you would think you won't know. So they stimulate me just because I saw this. It's just disgusting.
And um, make it, no matter what they do, if the whole world seems to be, um, it's like the paranoid, it's like the whole world is out to get you sort of thing. Um, Anyways, it's been 5 years for me. They've sort of calmed down a bit now. The B2K is not as loud as it used to be before. It's more stealthy. Like they turn it down a notch. They turn it down a lot to um, make it appear as though the thoughts in my head are actually mine, which I know they aren't most of the time. Because yeah, these people are very perverse and they have hatred towards targets for some reason. I don't know. Could be racially motivated, religion, or just hate crime. Uh,
He mentioned that his thoughts, they slowly, like it seemed like they turned off the volume and made it seem more stealthy, as he called it, making him think that the thoughts in his mind were his, but because they were so perverted, he knew they weren't his. It's the same. That's the same for me. You see how systematic things are? So, this little black girl, they didn't crank up the stimulation as much as they could. They didn't crank up the stimulation as much as they usually do, but it was still disgusting. The afterthoughts, the dialogue after that became so disturbing sexually and nasty, and it became sexual and disturbing and nasty and disgusting. But it could have gone worse because they've done it worse when it comes to like stimulation. They like to think that, oh, when you were a kid, that was you. When you were a kid, like, listen, I'm a grown man and I know this is not naturally happening to me. You have to make me experience this. And they try to go into it. No, but we just matched it to you when you were a kid. It's some BS thing, just nonsensical thing they want you to subscribe to. But that doesn't end there. So, and by the way, as I put this in the folder, I'm getting stimulation. Then you see this little girl on the side. This are stimulating the same way, giving me some arousals of some sort. This. And it becomes another stimulation that's disgusting, that's meant to break you down. But it doesn't end there. Like, so, you see, this is like the babies. And then there's this one, which even now they try to break me down. So I'm watching this workout thing on Instagram, right? This guy is working out. But on the side you see like this is like a teenager. And she looked like a teenager. I'll give her, no, she's a baby. Like a very young baby. Like maybe 13, 14-year old. Right? You see that? They're trying to make me look at her legs in a sexual way. Try to give them curves and whatever. This is a bait. Like this is this. And earlier they tried to make me think of her like try to lose.